I'm here with Mr. Kishore Rao, who is the director of UNESCO World Heritage Center.
That's right.
Good. Thank you for being with us today on Rock's World. And you're speaking to me from Paris.
That's right.
And hopefully the weather is as lovely there as it is here in Palm
It is
Beach.
it is extremely cold, cloudy, and depressing.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Well, consider this a personal invitation to come to Palm Beach, Florida.
Yes, I was there not too long ago.
Oh, you were?
Yes.
Wonderful.
I'd gone to the Everglades. I think it was last year. Yeah.
Yes, it's quite amazing, the Everglades, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
We've done a lot in the past with their foundation.
Mm.
Now, I want to say congratulations on your 40th year anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes.
And I believe that started yesterday.
Yesterday was actually it was a ceremonial kickoff to the whole year. We did the official launch at the General Assembly of States Parties on the 7th of November last year.
Mm-hmm.
And basically that started started the whole process of preparing towards the various events that will be organized between November 2011 and November 2012 in all parts of the world, in different regions of the world, in various countries who have come forward and want to sort of participate in this celebration. So it's really a ceremonial kickoff that took place yesterday, and we were fortunate that the UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador, who happens to be Herbie Hancock, agreed to do a concert. And so there were a few speeches and a beautiful concert, which really set the stage for the year ahead.
It sounds like it now. Of course, UNESCO is one of the most powerful tools for heritage preservation.
It is the 1972 World Heritage Convention, which is a UNESCO convention, which is the instrument which deals with the need for international cooperation to identify and protect heritage which is considered the common heritage of humankind. That means heritage which is of such outstanding quality that it has value for not only the country which holds that heritage, but for humanity as a whole, not only for the present generation, but also for future generations. So that's really the essence of the convention, that we need to come together in a global partnership to be able to protect such heritage.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but what's unique is you have over 188 signatory countries, and it includes 936 sites with outstanding universal value in 153 countries around the world.
That's right. Those figures are absolutely right.
And that is staggering.
Yeah, that shows the almost near universal subscription of this convention, with 188 countries having signed the convention and committed themselves to this cause of heritage preservation.
Share with us some of the heritage properties that you maintain at this time.
There are all kinds of properties in these 153 countries. Like I said, some of them are threatened with, serious conservation challenges. Many of them are, of iconic value, which can be immediately identified, and people would say, yes, this is a World Heritage Site. Yet some of them are little known. They may not be very evidently World Heritage Sites, but they have such intrinsic qualities which make them qualify for World Heritage status. I mean, if you look at the cultural landscape of Bamiyan in Afghanistan, I'm just sort of scrolling down the list of sites.
So
I mean, you can go to the the Los Glaciares ice fields in Argentina. You go to the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, and so on. I mean, there's really a huge variety and typology of heritage from natural heritage sites to cultural sites. Even in the cultural category, you'll have monumental sites and you have cultural landscapes. You have cities, World Heritage cities, over 300 World Heritage cities are on the list. On the natural side, you have marine sites, mountain sites, forest sites, you name it. These are outstanding from not only a visual perspective, but from for their intrinsic qualities in terms of the architectural value, the technology that was used for constructing some of these monuments, the biodiversity which some of these natural sites hold, like the um, Galapagos Islands in Ecuador, where Darwin did his whole
Yes.
work on the theory of evolution.
Hmm.
So there are these sites which are truly iconic, both visually and from a intellectual standpoint.
Now, I know you have several challenges that you face in the world: global phenomenon, climate change, population explosion, loss of financial resources. But to
Mhm.
you, what is the greatest challenge you face?
I mean, all the all the challenges that you named are great in their own right, because not all the threats impact on all the World Heritage sites in the same manner.
Right.
Now, if you're looking at a natural site, for example, then the threats of resource exploitation or mining or oil exploration, that comes into the forefront. But if you're looking at a World Heritage City, then you might have developmental projects like new skyscrapers being built, or non-historic character buildings being built. So it varies depending on what kind of heritage site that you are talking about. If it's a marine World Heritage site, then you'll have possibly the impacts of overfishing, pollution of the marine ecosystem, those kinds of issues. So uh, if you put it in a nutshell, obviously the overwhelming pressure of developmental processes would be the unsustainable developmental processes would be the threat.
Now, I'm sure that a lot of people would be curious to know, when we're at war in some of these countries, how are
Hmm.
you able to go in a diplomatic way and work with these countries to be able to
Hmm.
salvage
Hmm.
these different monuments and so on?
Right. I think it was clearly demonstrated in the case of the Democratic Republic of Congo, in the case of natural sites, and more recently in the case of cultural sites, in the case of Libya, for example.
Hmm.
Yeah, we use conservation diplomacy. There are legal tools available. For example, UNESCO also has the 1954 Hague Convention, which makes it the responsibility of countries which are in conflict to make sure that they do not damage cultural heritage property. So we appeal immediately to the states parties in conflict, because many countries are already signatories to this convention, and draw their attention to the fact that, look here, you have this obligation of not damaging cultural property, even though there is a conflict undergoing. Uh, we we sort of work with the local authorities to see if they need any kind of assistance, as was done in the case of Democratic Republic of Congo, whether they needed some equipment, some kind of financial support to be able to keep guards on the site, so that they can continue to patrol the area. Basically, it's diplomacy, which is
Mm.
to appeal to the countries and the authorities concerned to say that, okay, I mean, these are heritage sites which need to be protected and safeguarded, even in this conflictual kind of situation.
Sure. When there is a danger or a disaster, how is it that you're able to react? Are you able to react quickly, or do you still have to follow the same channels?
No,
of
we
diplomacy?
react quickly. I mean, we immediately get in touch with the authorities of the country concerned when there is natural disasters, and increasingly,
Mm.
the the frequency of these disasters is growing, be it floods and like it happened in Ayodhya or earthquake or tsunamis. We immediately get in touch with the country, the authorities concerned, and ask them if they need any assistance, either technical or financial. We have an emergency fund by which we can immediately make available some resources for them to be able to, mobilize support to deal with the situation. We appeal to other signatories to the convention, asking them to contribute their technical and financial support to deal with an emergency. We mobilize our advisory bodies, technical advisory bodies, the ICMOS, the International Council on Monument and Sites for cultural sites, IUCN, which is for the natural heritage sites. We ask them to sort of, identify suitable experts who can then help the country to deal with a particular situation. So all these, avenues are open to us, and depending on the specific situation, we draw on these resources and our partners and collaborators to deal with a particular situation.
Okay, I would just want to mention this. A global network of marine site managers have been set up in the sustainable management of World Heritage forests, which account for approximately 13% of all protected forests on the planet, has
Hmm.
also been improved. I mean, you are so diversified.
Yes, that's why I said there are different types of World Heritage sites, cultural, natural, and within this there are so many categories of
Yeah.
sites. So it's forest sites, marine sites, like I was saying, and yes, it's a big diversity which really represents the diversity of our cultural and natural heritage on this planet.
And of course endangered species
Yes,
such as mountain gorillas, the
yes,
northern white rhino. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
wow,
yeah,
that
yeah.
is just how many people would you say are working
Hmm.
with World Heritage?
There'll be thousands of people because
Thousands, yeah.
ultimately the World Heritage sites belong to certain countries.
Mhm.
Each of the countries, it's their fundamental responsibility and obligation to take care of that heritage, right?
That's
So
right.
there are people working at each of these sites whose day-to-day business is to implement management practices and to protect and safeguard and improve these sites. So if you were to take a global assessment, there'll be literally hundreds and thousands of people whose daily business is heritage conservation. We at UNESCO, the World Heritage Center, is not a big,
Mhm.
center. We have about 70 or 80 people working for us, but our job is to coordinate the implementation of the program globally, working with countries, working with our partners, etc. So we are the secretariat to the convention.
Mhm. Well, I think this is a wonderful organization, and the reason I wanted to share this with my listeners is because I think it deserves more recognition.
Absolutely, yes.
And
I'm,
I'm
I'm
a world traveler, and the reason I travel the world is to learn different countries' culture and natural heritage. So to me, there are just so many countries and people out there um, who want to know more about it and who don't even think that these have to be maintained. And I mean, just for not only myself, but for our future generations to come.
Absolutely, and we draw attention to the fact that such heritage is basically something that promotes intercultural dialogue and appreciation for the cultures of other peoples about which we may not be aware. So traveling to such special places helps us to understand the culture, the natural heritage, and appreciate how people have lived in harmony with this culture and learn about it. So you're right. I mean, it helps to promote the whole notion of intercultural understanding and uh, appreciation, which is crucial to building peace on earth.
Mm, really, very well said. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I certainly want to say congratulations in 40 years. That's
Yeah.
that's quite an accomplishment, and many more to come. And I'm sure it'll be an exciting year of wonderful events.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for bringing this message to your listeners. And thank you. Great talking to you.